You know a lot about golf.
Well, we're waiting.
You've heard the music. You've heard the man warn you that we were coming, and you're still here. That's a good sign. We are here, too. We are those Weekend Golf guys. I'm John Ashton in studio. He is Jeff Smith at the Golf Cave at Edinburgh, Indiana's Timbergate Golf Course, which is a very nice place for the #1 golf instructor in the state of Indiana to be hanging his hat and other assorted things. You got, what, about 17 golf bags?
I like it. Got a nice studio, making it better all the time.
A veritable plethora of golf clubs that you don't use nor need. But that's okay.
True. I got stuff, right? I got stuff. But, you know, there's gizmos and gadgets and things that go bump in the night.
Yes.
Right?
Uh-huh.
So there's a lot of stuff that I get to use there. And I've oddly enough, things that I used to use a lot of times, some low-tech gizmos that I don't use anymore because I found a different way of going about it. And I find myself kind of shifting a little bit in what I use.
But you're just one of those guys that can't throw anything away, right?
I don't throw it away, but I can tell you that the assistant pro at Timbergate is now a very happy young man.
Yes, he's been carrying out all of Jeff Smith's old stuff.
He came into work empty-handed, and he didn't leave that way. He's like, holy smokes, I can do this and I can do that. He's like, okay, so I'm kind of passing the torch a little bit.
I gotcha.
With some stuff. Right?
All right, but it is still an embarrassment of riches. And there are more things in the Golf Cave than are dreamt of in your philosophies. That's all I got to say. We are going to be talking to some people today about some good stuff.
There's some stuff there. It's fun.
First off, Jeff is going to tell us how to clear our head. That's going to make sense to you when we come back in a little bit. We're also going to be talking to a gentleman who one day woke up and he said, hey, why don't I just get into the golf business? And nobody was there to talk him out of it, so here he is.
What's he thinking?
But then he's Canadian, so,
Crazy man.
He's a crazy dude, man. Creative.
That means it was a nice crazy man.
Yes. He's very polite about being crazy. And then we're also talking to a beautiful young woman named Kelsey Thomas, who is the official mouthpiece for the First Tee of Louisville. And they have, and I know you do a lot of work with First Tee, Jeff. They have a fundraiser.
Yeah, I like the First Tee.
That anybody, even if you're not in Louisville, that anybody will want to participate in. And we're going to talk to her about that coming up. So you're going to want to do it. Trust me. Hang out. We'll be right back. We are those Weekend Golf guys. Hi, this is John Ashton. I have 2 daughters and 1 wife, and I'm not saying that to brag. I'm just saying that to explain what I'm about to tell you about Christmas. Every year I get this question asked from all 3 of them. What do you want for Christmas? And I never know. So what did I do this year that I haven't been able to do other years? I sent them the Mack Weldon web address. I sent them MackWeldon.com/weekend, and I told them use the promo code weekend and you'll save yourself a couple of bucks on anything you buy. And anything you buy, Daddy is going to love, especially the Sunday lounge pants. I bought myself a pair of these last year. Still wear them. Still the most comfortable pair of pants I have ever had. You got a dad? Get him some Sunday lounge pants at MackWeldon.com/weekend and enter the promo code weekend and you will get 20% off your first order. Hurry, though. Christmas is coming. Hate to break that to you. MackWeldon.com/weekend. 20% off your first order when you use promo code weekend. Yeah, while you're sitting around with the family eating turkey leftovers all weekend long, some guys are out there trying to steal your home title. The legal title to all of our homes are online right now, and the crime is called home title theft, and it's everywhere. Cyber criminals find the title to your home online. They forge your signature on a quitclaim deed. Then they refile as the new owner of your home, and you're off the title. And then they take out money against the home. They steal the cash, and they stick you with the payments. You may not even have an idea it's happening until you start getting late payments or even a foreclosure notice. Home Title Lock protects your home's legal title. Home Title Lock puts a protective barrier around your home's title. And the instant they detect tampering, they shut it down. So right now, there's more turkey. You can have it later. Go to HomeTitleLock.com, register your address to see if you're already a victim. Then use the code RADIO for 30 free days of protection. That's code RADIO, and that's 30 free days of protection at HomeTitleLock.com. And thanks for hanging and coming back. We are those Weekend Golf Guys. I'm John Ashton. He is Jeff Smith. We have a problem being golfers, especially if you listen to guys like Jeff, because every time they open their mouth, gems of wisdom come pouring forth. And you sit there and you say, oh, I've got to remember that. The next thing he says, oh, I got to remember that. And the problem is, when we're out on the golf course trying to play this game and addressing the ball, all those gems come just colliding into each other in our brain. I'm so confused, and we still stink. So what do we do,
and
man?
That happens, right? I had a couple people today. They come in and we sit down and we talk a little bit. There was a guy that drove over from Ohio today.
Okay.
And I spent a couple hours with him. And the first half hour of it was, let's say, working our way through the stuff that he's got in there, right? You just said it. They're colliding in there.
All that information just banging around.
Yeah. I said it to him in a little different way. I said, you really got a lot of stuff in your head, right? And I said, so it's my job. I have to be a plumber because I have to flush away an awful lot of that. A lot of that poo, right? I got to get rid of that because it is colliding. It's clogging up the works. And he stands over the ball and he's all tense and he's, the statue, he's over the ball for like 10 seconds. And I'm like, whoa, time out, brother. Hang on. We haven't even begun to do anything yet. And I'm watching a guy hit a practice ball in my studio. The launch monitor's not even turned on and the TV's not on to see where it's going to go. He's just standing there and he's frozen.
Still can't pull the trigger, huh?
Oh boy. So you got to tell me what's going on here. And he started to rattle off all the different ingredients in his soup that's going on in his head. All that stuff just swimming around. He is Mr. Video. God, he watches everything and goes, I don't know whether I should be doing this. I've been watching this guy for about a month. And then I've been watching this other guy for about a week. And he says, I just can't make heads or tails of all this stuff. And I said, I know. So stop. And let's learn what these things are what they're trying to tell you. And then let's go find out, should you do anything? So I wrote down 2 questions on the board for him to ponder that are big questions on any time he wants to click a button and hear something. And the first question is, why? Why are you doing this? Why are you paying attention to this? Why are you seeking out any bit of information? Why are you not drilling down? Why are you not being specific? Why do you just keep searching? I said, I want you to learn how to ask why. Why am I doing this? Why am I watching this guy? Why am I not watching that other guy? Why am I watching anybody at all? Why don't I learn what's right for me? Lots of whys. And he's looking at me going, oh my God, I really need to ask these questions better. And then the second question I wrote on there, I said, this is also really important, is who? Like, okay, I'm watching this information being presented to me on YouTube and I'm watching it. And the question is, who is that information right for? Who would benefit from this? And why do I think I'm benefiting from this? He goes, well, I'm a tinkerer. And I said, you'll forever be a mess if you're a tinkerer. He says, well, how do I find out what's right for me? And I said, that's why you came.
Yeah, that's why you're here.
Said, yes, because you clear it all up. And I said, let's understand that if you get information that is bad for you, you have to learn how to identify it. So this is the next question is how? So we got why, we got who, now we got how. How do I sift through this minefield of information, and how do I apply something like that? If I've answered the who, and the who is, yes, that's for me, now I go, okay, how do I apply that? So we did a physical screen on him, right? And he understood how his body moves. In about 10 minutes, he understood. And so I said, okay, so let's go through some of the things you've been looking at. And he gave me a couple of them. And he says, okay, so I'm watching this guy. He's pretty famous. And he's out there and he's telling me that I got to do this, this, and this. I said, no. He's not telling you. He's telling a camera. He's not telling it to you. It might not apply to you at all. So here's what he's telling you. That's information, and that's out there for somebody. And you got to find out who it's for, because you got to find out if it's for you or not. And I said, here's who you are. Here's how you move. This kind of information does not match who you are.
Okay.
You're going to make the club move this way, and he's talking about it doing that way and that way. So that's information for somebody else. I said, so if you're really trying to fuss around here and clog up your brain, go ahead and try to apply every bit of this stuff that you can click on to yourself, and you'll be a complete mess. He goes, yeah, that's exactly what's been going on. I said, yeah, how many years have you been doing it? He goes, I don't know, 5 or 6.
Yeah.
I'm like, you have been doing this for 5 or 6 years, completely screwing up your happiness for 5 or 6 years. And I went back the first question on the board that said, why?
Yeah. If you added when and where, it could have been a journalism lesson,
It could have been.
The question that I have now, and I will ask you, is how do we fix it? Because are you saying that we have to come to you, or that we have to go to somebody who knows us, or we should just ignore everything we hear and move on, or what?
I'll tell you what. Here's the easiest thing. Find someone who can tell you how you move best in a golf swing. And there's about 5 physical screens that can be done.
Mm-hmm.
Oddly enough, I've done it with people online who listen to this show,
mm-hmm.
and they send me an email, and we do some physical screens online. They're on one end of the computer. I'm on the other end. We go through this nice little session, and I show them who they are, and then tell them what kinds of information would actually apply to them. And if they stuck within that framework of that bit of information, those kind of things,
they know what to listen to and what not to listen to.
That's right. And they know what it is.
Right.
And the how to do that is, if the information being presented makes the club move in a different way than what you have to, that you'll move it into your best based on some physical tests and see how easy it is to do that,
mm-hmm.
then that information is not for you.
Right. And that's a problem
That's
that so many of us have had is that we read the stuff in the back of the magazines, or we look at the latest video that somebody sent us for free, and we just assume that it will work for us, when the truth of the matter is that nothing works for everybody.
You're right. Nothing works for everybody to some degree. There's a couple of things that do work for everybody, but they're not style related things. If you can get your club to go through this place facing in this direction,
right,
that works for everybody, right?
Yeah, but how to do that is different for everybody.
It's always the house. Yes, it's the house.
Yeah.
So I make a lot of videos on the what.
Mm-hmm.
Here's what needs to get accomplished. Here are different ways of going about it. And some people are going to be built so that they're better off doing it this way. And other people are built so they can do it another way better. And then the thing still gets accomplished. And you know what? Everybody gets happy.
Yeah. Were I to be searching for someone locally that I could go to face to face, what kind of question would I ask them to know if they can do what you're suggesting I have someone do for me?
I would ask them, can you give me some physical screens, some physical tests that could predict how I should be swinging a golf club so that I can do this easily and naturally? If they respond with, here's what you need to do before they do some physical screens, they really haven't studied you and how you move yet. If they haven't done any physical screens and they're telling you how to move, they're kind of going about it off some other blueprint than your blueprint.
That may or may not be right for you.
Right. So I had a guy today. He's got a thing about his left arm. He's a right-handed golfer, so it's his lead arm. Essentially did this little hyper-extension, and it changed halfway in the backswing on the direction that I would have expected the club to move based on a physical screen. And he said, I've been to a bunch of other golf professionals, and they're all telling me to do something different. He said, but every time I do what they're trying to get me to do, it always pops back over to here. Okay, so that's a parameter we need to work within, because part of his body is going to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And he went to 2 other guys that are trying to tell him,
don't do that.
He had to do something different.
Right.
This guy didn't have a choice.
Yeah.
It's happening. So that's a factor.
And you got to work you got to work with what you got, basically, like anybody.
That's right.
Yeah.
Right. You got parameters you're working within, and that's it.
Just remember, when you go to a golf pro for lessons, ask that question, because there's something in the way you move affects you like no other golfer.
Yeah. See,
do we have to pay?
Radio man, the DJ comes out.
Do we have to pay royalties for that now?
We changed the word.
That's right. It's totally different. Hey, listen, we got a guy from Canada coming up next, Dan Erdman, who's the head honcho of Other Golf. We're going to talk about some other balls and some other golf towels and some other golf stuff when we come right back. Don't you? We are those Weekend Golf Guys. You've heard about HelloFresh, right? Well, I finally subscribed. Got my first box last week. It's a great value. You know, you can save 40% when you use HelloFresh versus shopping at the grocery store. Well, that cuts out the stressful meal planning and the grocery store trips. I can enjoy cooking now and get dinner on the table in about 30 minutes. And you do walk to the table with a bit of a swagger when you've cooked something like chicken over garlic parmesan spaghetti. By skipping the grocery store and using HelloFresh, you know you can reduce your food waste by at least 25%. And also, you can give back. HelloFresh has donated over 3.5 million meals so far in 2020. Go to HelloFresh.com/weekend90 right now and use the code weekend90. You will get $90 off, including free shipping on your box. HelloFresh.com/weekend90. Use the code weekend90 and you're going to eat good. HelloFresh.com/weekend90.
Stunning.
You don't have to hit a shot to fall in love with the Pete Dye and Donald Ross courses at French Lake Resort. Our hotel and golf packages are the way to go. Add the casino and spas, and it's a road trip for the memory book. Safely get back to the game you love with one of the packages found online at FrenchLick.com. Legendary golf at French Lake Resort. A breath of fresh air.
Must be 21 to enter casino. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-9-WITH-IT.
Hi, this is Neil Michaels, sales manager for those weekend golf guys. You know, as guys, so much of our identity is wrapped up in our hair. That's why when we start noticing the first signs of hair loss, it feels like panic time. No guy is ever ready to go bald, and I speak from experience. The bald spot, the receding hairline, ugh. Thankfully now there's Keeps, the simple and easy way to keep your hair. Until I started using Keeps, I keeps hair in my sink and I keeps a lot of my hair on the floor. Well, Keeps offers generic versions of the only 2 FDA-approved hair loss products out there. You may have even tried them before, but never for this price. Keeps treatments start at just $10 a month. Plus, for a limited time, you can get your first month free. Keeps treatments usually take 4 to 6 months to see results. So what are you waiting for? Go to keeps.com/golfguys to get your first month of treatment free. That's KEEPS.com/golfguys.
Hey, thanks for hanging and coming back. We are those weekend golf guys. I'm John Ashton in the studio. Jeff Smith out teaching somebody how to play golf better, which is what you would expect the #1 golf instructor in the state of Indiana to be doing. But we're going to be talking about is other things. Notice how I got that in there? Dan Erdman.
Here you go.
From Other Golf. It is pronounced other, even though it's spelled Uther, right? Did I get it right?
Yeah, it gets a little bit of confusion there, but yes, other. Absolutely.
First off, Dan, welcome to those weekend golf guys. Thanks for spending some time with us here. Now, I ran across your stuff just by accident online. I'm not even sure why it popped up. I think something on Facebook popped up. But the question I give to everybody is, what were you thinking? I mean, there were so many people in that business already making golf balls and stuff. Yeah. You couldn't find a more difficult business, a more competitive business to get into?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Golf balls is super competitive, and we're up against the giants of the golf industry. But yeah, we're excited about it because we have a unique concept. I guess like the basis of our business is always rolling out something that's different, unique, and golfers haven't seen before. So our iconic collection is something completely new to the industry, and that's why we're taking on the big guys. Yeah,
and I mean, and that's why I called y'all. It was totally unique. And, you know, we don't just let anybody on the show. They have to have a reason to be here, and your reason to be here is because you guys are just totally unique. And I don't know what kind of meetings y'all have. Do you do it sober?
Yeah.
Did you come up with this idea sober, or how's it work, man?
Yeah, that's a good question. Honestly, the ideas just pop into my head. I'm a super creative individual, and that's my strength. I know like what I'm not good at, which is finance and bookkeeping and the numbers. That's not me. But I get some wacky ideas that pop up into my head, and some of them work, and we're really excited about the golf balls and obviously the golf towels we've seen some good success with as well. Yeah,
let's explain. What I saw was golf towels and golf balls that had different markings on them than anything you've ever seen. You could tell it was done with somebody with a tongue-in-cheek sense of humor.
Yeah, that's absolutely correct. And we like to, I guess, take reference and inspiration from pop culture. And have a fun time with what we create. And I think that passes on to the customer that enjoys that sort of humor. And obviously fashionable designs is obviously our major business.
Yeah. And what's the website get people so they can follow along? Because some people go, well, what are they talking about? Where should they go right now to see what it is we're talking about?
Uthersupply.com, UTHER supply.com.
Okay.
And you'll find our golf towels and golf ball collection there.
I mean, it's great, especially if you lose balls, because now you never have any question as to whether it's your ball or not.
It's good for the playing partner.
That's right.
You walk into a forest and if it's not a pineapple ball, you can't claim it.
Can't claim it. That's exactly.
So if you're playing with someone that's using an iconic golf ball, you can guarantee they're on the straight and narrow and aren't playing any games with you.
Yeah. I got the ones with the donuts because donuts are my downfall. So, it's very me. So people just look and see a golf ball with a donut. Oh, that's got to be John's. I mean, even if they're not playing with me, they just look at it and go, oh, that's John's ball. I better pick it up and give it to him. But,
they find it 3 days later and
exactly
the brown donut.
Now you say you are a very creative individual, but you can tell if you're responsible for the towels and for the balls and the iconic designs and stuff. You're not an accounting person. So I would imagine that you have a lot of arguments with the accounting person because accounting people don't understand creativity very well, man. Or did you find one that understands you?
Yeah. My guy, Rashad, he's actually pretty new to our team, 3 to 4 months. He's been a dream, to be honest. He understands our vision and, he loves what we do. And that's part of the reason why we have such an awesome team. It's everyone's excited to get to work and build some unique and different products.
And is it just balls and towels, or are you going to expand into other areas of golf or other industries?
Yeah. We're sticking to golf, but there's a lot to go in there. And we have about 8 to 10 different products that we're exploring at the moment. A few of them are at the final stages of development. So that's really exciting. And 2020 was really about creating momentum and developing these new products. And 2021 is when we'll be launching a ton of new creative products, which each and every collection will be a completely different type of product that is not on the market currently.
Give us any hints? Or is it going to be like a big surprise?
Hints. Accessories as well beyond accessories is what I can tell you. And stay tuned for early 21 and mid 21. We have a lot planned.
Well, because of this COVID thing and golf being one of the few things that actually grew during 2020, it's a good time to get into the business or to expand your offerings, I would imagine.
Yeah, absolutely. And we saw a tremendous uptick in our online sales. Yeah, it was a little bit scary for a while because we're working with the retailers and a lot of them shut down for about a few weeks. And luckily we rode that wave and everything's been great for both us and our partners. So we're really fortunate that the game has seen a good incline.
Are you primarily doing business in Canada, or are you just now trying to expand beyond the borders, or was I just lucky enough to stumble upon you that one time?
I would say about 90% of our business is done in the States.
Okay.
That's because our online store is mainly direct to U.S. customers. We're in every Dick's Sporting Goods and Golf Galaxy location as well. So that fantastic. That does a lot of good business for us, and it's a great partnership. So, you can expect other towels and golf balls. We're doing a release for the golf balls in Dick's Sporting Goods in select locations, and all of our golf towels are in Golf Galaxy and Dick's.
Fantastic. And you got to go to the site again. What is it? Uthersupply.com? UTHER supply.com.
Absolutely.
Check them out because are you responsible for all of the designs, or do you just come up with most of them and other people expound and expand upon your ideas? Yeah,
I would say about 80% of the creativity comes from myself.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we have a talented team that helps put that to fruition, and we're proud of the designs we're putting forth, our packaging, and it's of course very design focused, but also functionally, our golf balls perform really, really well. We've thoroughly tested them, and same with our golf towels.
Yeah. The balls, I mean, you're not giving up any performance by going with the creativity at all.
Absolutely.
I'm old. You may not remember this. I'm sure a few people listening will, but there was a product in the late 70s, early 80s, I think it was, called Screaming Yellow Zonkers. It was basically caramel popcorn. All right.
Okay.
But I don't know if they hired comedy writers or what, but the text on the outside of the boxes was absolutely hilarious. And it changed almost every run. I used to buy them just to read the box. And
right.
That's, I figured these guys are sick. And I got the same impression from you that you got to have some weird dreams. You wake up in the middle of the night and go, oh, that'd be a great idea, and write it down, or how's this happen?
Yeah. No, for sure. The inspiration comes from a lot of different places. One of them golf nuts was for an ex-girlfriend. Funny enough.
Uh-huh.
And she liked that as a little present, a golf towel dedicated towards her. And yeah, we get a lot of different, I guess, inspirations, and we're really, we've had fun with it, and we actually have Spring 21 golf towels releasing the next week. So,
cool.
A lot of new creative designs will be dropped in about 7 to 10 days.
And, I'm just saying a golf towel is a very easy present to buy for a golfer, because, don't buy them. You can't really buy them golf balls because you don't know what they like. You can't buy them a club because those are very, very personal decisions.
Finicky.
But a golf towel, man, especially one that's going to get some comments from the other guys in the group,
Yeah.
Safe bet.
It's a one size fits all. That's the great thing. We don't have any issues with sizing everyone.
That's it.
That's exactly what they expect.
So whenever you're looking to get some other golf stuff, you got to go get some other golf stuff, right?
There you go. Yeah.
But it is UTHERsupply.com. Man, Dan Erdman, I just got to, again, congratulate you, man, on are you a golfer?
I am.
You play a lot of golf and just decided that this was going to be your outlet, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. I enjoy it for sure.
Well, if you can start dedicating designs on golf towels to ex-girlfriends, man, I mean, we all got to have our release somewhere,
Yeah. That was before she became the ex-girlfriend.
Oh, okay.
But yeah.
All right, we got about a minute left, man. How about some shameless self-promotion? Where to go, why you're around, all that kind of good stuff.
Absolutely. So again, othersupply.com, UTHERsupply.com. You can find us on Instagram at othersupply, and send us an email if you're looking for custom towels. But otherwise, there's a bunch of cool designs that should match pretty much any golfer's preference. Yeah,
that is fantastic. So good meeting you, man. I was just wondering what the mind behind this stuff.
Yeah.
It takes a lot to impress me, but I was impressed. So
I appreciate that, and congrats on what you're doing with the podcast. It's
appreciate that.
Once we stumble upon it, I'm a big podcast guy, so I'm definitely tuning in now to listen to it. It's really great to get your perspective and insights. It's awesome.
Fantastic. And you ever want to, get away from the Canadian winter and come play some golf, let us know. We know people, man.
Yeah. Might be difficult to get up through the border, but once,
we know some places where it's not watched all that closely. Only kidding. Only kidding. All right. Again, Dan Erdman with Other Golf, UTHERsupply.com. Appreciate your time, sir. Great to meet you, and I'm sure we'll be talking again here on those Weekend Golf Guys. Of course, we have a Facebook page, facebook.com/Golf Guys. We would love it if you were to go there and like us. Facebook.com/Golf Guys.
Stunning.
You don't have to hit a shot to fall in love with the Pete Dye and Donald Ross courses at French Lake Resort. Our hotel and golf packages are the way to go. Add the casino and spas, and it's a road trip for the memory book. Safely get back to the game you love with one of the packages found online at FrenchLake.com. Legendary golf at French Lake Resort. a breath of fresh air.
Must be 21 to enter casino. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-9-WITH-IT.
I have a crash course into home title theft, and you better pray this never happens to you, because it can ruin you financially. Here's how the crime happens. The legal titles to our homes are all kept online where they can be hacked. A cyber thief finds your home's title, forges your signature on a quit-claim deed stating that you sold your home to him. Then he takes out loans against your home until your equity is gone. You won't know it until the collection calls start coming in. You're not protected by insurance, by your bank, or by common identity theft programs. Home Title Lock protects you, though. And in the unlikely event you become a victim of title theft while a member, Home Title Lock will spend up to $250,000 in legal fees to help restore your home's title. Go to HomeTitleLock.com and register your address to see if you're already a victim. Then use code RADIO for 30 free days of protection. That's code RADIO at HomeTitleLock.com. 30 free days of protection with code RADIO. Hey, thanks for hanging and coming back. We are those Weekend Golf Guys. I am John Ashton in the studio. Jeff Smith, conspicuous by his absence, but we do have Kelsey Thomas, who's a development director for First Tee of Louisville. So, Kelsey, first off, thank you for spending some time with us here on those Weekend Golf Guys. How are you, lady?
I am great. Thank you for having me. We're so excited to be here and so excited to talk about what we do and some exciting stuff we have coming up in December. It's going to be really cool.
You know, I think everybody who is a golfer, has a golfer in the family, has been to a golf course, knows the First Tee, but so many of them aren't really familiar with what the First Tee does. Can you, in a nutshell, just explain that real quick?
Yeah, first and foremost, what we want people to understand is our goal is to build better citizens through the game of golf. So really what we want to do is teach and develop the youth of our community. We have 9 core values and 9 healthy habits that we base our curriculum on. Mm-hmm. So the students can come to the course and they learn the game of golf, but really what they're learning are those life skills that they can carry off of the course into school, at home, so that as they grow and they progress through the program, by the time they graduate and go off to college or go into adulthood, they have those life skills to deal with challenges, managing emotions, integrity, responsibility, respect, those sort of things.
When my grandson went there when he was like 8, first thing he was taught was to shake hands.
Yes.
Which was very cool, I thought. Before you even put a golf club in your hand. This is what you do when you meet somebody. It went from there.
Learning that etiquette is so important for confidence. Mm-hmm. You know, we want the kids to continue also to be for the game to be very accessible. So we teach them course etiquette. We get them youth on course cards so they can play at any course for $5. We give them equipment and anything else that they need. So that way, while they're learning those life skills, they can continue the lifelong game of golf as well. And it's easily accessible for anyone in any income level.
We have said this many times in the past, but the game of golf itself is almost a metaphor for life.
Yes.
And when you learn how to deal with golf, like you guys are doing, you're teaching them life skills.
Yeah, well, more so than ever, even this year with COVID, the kids we've had to make adjustments, but the kids have had to make huge adjustments in managing everything between not getting to go to school, class sizes are different, all of those things. And by teaching them some of the skills we can teach them, and we got to have active participants during COVID because, you know, golf was never canceled.
That's right. So in states where the governor played golf. because they understood that we are the people, golfers actually live by social distancing.
That's right. Well, and so the kids got to continue to play and still be involved in an activity. And we just made all of those adjustments, spread them out 6 feet, face masks, all of that. And it was just such a great experience. And we added additionally to that a tutoring program called PACE. It's Program and Access Sites for E-Learning. So the kids in the neighborhood at these golf courses can come to the community room and get tutoring and snacks and high-speed internet. And we have actual retired educators on site helping out. So, you know, it's important to us that they understand that education is important. And so that was a need we identified outside of our normal programming this year with COVID. So that's how we were able to continue to see the youth and work in our community even when golf wasn't an option.
And I mean, the work y'all do in the community too. The director here in Louisville, Deshaun,
he's
phenomenal guy. And the way he acts with kids, man, it was like, cause I personally, you get that many kids in a room at the one time. And I just, no, I got to get out. It's too noisy. It's too hectic. I need to leave. And, but he's just so phenomenal with all those kids. And he's a decent golfer too, man.
He is. And, he has an amazing story of how he got involved in golf and how he started First Tee. He was a retired police officer. He was actually shot on duty, and his surgeon told him to take up the game of golf, to work on his shoulder to rehab. Mm-hmm. And as he started learning the game, he fell in love. He discovered First Tee, and here we are.
That's it. And the work that First Tee does across the country, I mean, it's like God's work, man. I mean, you guys and Kelsey Thomas, who's the development director here in Louisville for the First Tee, is our guest on those Weekend Golf Guys. But I mean, you guys are just doing great things for kids in general.
Now we have 150 chapters.
Yeah.
Nationwide. So
and there is a cost to join, but the cost is not prohibitive. Even if you don't have it, you can still get in. And there were basically scholarships given, right?
Right. So any child that qualifies for free or reduced lunch at school is a military family, and some first responders all get an automatic scholarship. But also any family that reaches out and says that they're going through, life changes, whatever it may be, they can apply for a scholarship, and we haven't denied anyone.
Yeah.
And with that, every child does get equipment that they can come back anytime, because we know kids grow, can come back in exchange for new equipment, get the right size all the way through the age of 18.
Yeah, I've seen many courses that we're in the clubhouse. They have, if they have the First Tee organization there, they'll say, please, just donate your old clubs here, or donate this or donate that. Throw a couple bucks in the jar or whatever. So many of us use golf to raise money for other causes. You always wonder, what do golf causes use to raise money? And you have one of the most unique things. It proves that you are a Kentucky girl. That's for sure. Right. But explain what you're doing to raise money. Now, you don't have to be in Louisville to participate in this either, do you?
No, absolutely. Okay. It's nationwide. Right. Anybody can enter it. So what we'll be doing is, because, we're in bourbon country.
Exactly.
Here, of course. So what we'll be doing is the Bourbon Lover's Dream. And basically what we're doing is we're going to be raffling off an entire barrel of Eagle Rare. So a barrel can yield anywhere from 200 to 250 bottles, right? So we're limiting it to 500 tickets. Mm-hmm. Tickets are $100 a piece, and they're going to go live on December 3rd. What will happen is we'll draw that winner on December 3rd, 31st at noon, so New Year's Eve. You'll get to go to the Buffalo Trace Distillery in Frankfort, Kentucky with 5 friends, do a VIP tasting and tour. And at that tour, the winner will get to select their barrel, and they'll sign that barrel. Mm-hmm. Then Eagle Rare will take that barrel, they'll ship it off. They'll bottle it with a personalized label that you helped design and create, and then they'll bottle it all up for you, ship it back to the retailer closest to you, along with your empty barrel, and you get it all. It's a winner take all. You get the bourbon, you get the barrel, you get the bottles, you get it all.
You are responsible for picking up the truck to take it to that retailer and bring it home, however.
That's right. Maybe you might need a U-Haul, but it is worth it.
So it'll be 10 years old when they put it in the bottle. I wonder how old it'll be by the time you finish the last bottle. That's a good question.
I have people who have said, I'm going to put a whole Eagle Rare man cave. I have had people who said, I'm going to give them to all of my employees as a thank you. I've had people say, I'm just going to put my name on it, and anybody who comes to the house, thanks for stopping by, have some Eagle Rare,
I am just going to party for the rest of my life, nonstop. There you go. If you are a bourbon aficionado, and bourbon seems to be getting so much popularity now throughout the country. I was watching NCI, it's one of my little, I will admit to it, NCIS Los Angeles, one of my little guilty pleasures on TV, okay?
Oh, of course.
And whenever they celebrate, they break out the Pappy Van Winkle. So there you go. Okay. So, I mean, everybody knows bourbon these days. So.
Well, and that's so funny because Pappy is a Buffalo Trace brand, as is Eagle Rare.
Yes.
So whoever wins this is going to be able to have the opportunity to go to the same distillery that does Pappy, which is incredible. And Eagle Rare is a really nice bourbon.
It is a wonderful bourbon. But then you have to really work at doing a bad bourbon.
True.
So Kelsey, how do folks get a ticket?
So it's going to be really easy. You just go to firstteelouisville.org.
Cool. And they're $100 a piece. Right.
There's no issue with being out of the state of Kentucky or anything like that. Anyone in the nation can purchase tickets. We are limiting it to 500.
Right.
So it's first come, first serve from December 3rd onward.
Is there a limit to the number of tickets you can buy?
No.
Okay.
I've had people who've said, we're going to have 10 guys and we're going to buy 10 tickets. And then if one of those 10 tickets wins, we're going to split all the bottles amongst each other.
That's a deal. It works.
Yeah. And we'll draw the winner at noon on New Year's Eve on Facebook Live.
Right. Right.
The location is TBD. We're trying to find a kind of a cool spot in Louisville, to kind of put some ambiance there. So definitely. So it is firstteelouisville.org, and you spell it all out, right? firstteelouisville.org. Yeah.
And,
T as in golf tee.
Right. And is $100 a ticket, maximum of 500 tickets.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the odds aren't that bad to begin with. And like you say, you get a group together and a little combine going in there. Yeah. That's pretty cool. That is absolutely
and the best part about it is all of the proceeds are going to go back into programming and back into what we're doing to try to positively impact the community around us.
Yeah, all the money stays with First Tee. And,
absolutely. And it stays with First Tee Louisville. So it'll go right back directly into the golf course that we're now operating down here, Shawnee, all of the youth courses, our programming at all of the other courses, our in-school programming, our player development workshops, all of those.
That's it. And Justin Thomas just had built a little golf course out there for y'all too, didn't he?
Oh, yeah. He has been a phenomenal supporter of ours. He really, really has. He not only has sponsored the Justin Thomas Youth Course down here at Shawnee, but he has provided a grant for all of our healthy snacks at all of our programming, because we know that kids need healthy food to fuel them and to work up their energy. And that's part of our, 9 healthy habits. And he's just been great. And his dad, Mike Thomas, always does a Mike Thomas breakfast for us, where he comes out and he kind of gives us some insider scoop on what it's like to be on the tour, and kind of some funny stories about Justin and what he's doing. So we couldn't be more grateful to have somebody like him in the Justin Thomas Foundation. Always giving back.
Yeah, he's a great guy too. And even though he spends most of his time in Florida, he still insists on being introduced as from Louisville, Kentucky, when they introduce him on the tee, as he starts every time, which is really great. He's given back big time, which is great. Kelsey Thomas, Development Director, First Tee of Louisville. Appreciate it again. And it's firstteelouisville.org. Get yourself 1 or 2 or 6 tickets, whatever. I mean, a barrel of bourbon is big.
That's like a lifetime supply. You never have to go to the liquor store again.
That's it.
And it's nice bourbon on top of that. So
it's a great bourbon.
Worth it.
Yeah. And you got to thank the folks. Was it Sazerac that owns Eagle Rare and all that stuff now?
So Sazerac was, we gotta give a shout out to Tyler Himes over at Sazerac. He, and our, volunteer Knox, they connected at a golf event, and somehow word got together, and we were able to make this happen. And Sazerac's been a great partner, of Buffalo Trace and Eagle Rare, and partnering with us. And we couldn't be more excited. We think it's going to be a really unique, amazing opportunity. And, for anybody who's not in Kentucky, any of the bourbon distilleries, it's a pretty amazing experience for anyone. And
I think the operative phrase you just mentioned there was connected at a golf event. There's a moral there, people. Okay.
Business happens on the course, right?
That is it.
That's where deals are made.
Kelsey Thomas, Development Director, First Tee of Louisville. Thank you for spending some time with us here on those Weekend Golf Guys.
Thank you, John. It was a pleasure.
Hey, look at us getting all high-tech and joining the 21st century. We're on Instagram. Go to Instagram. We are Weekend Golf Guys.
Hi, this is Neil Michaels, sales manager for those Weekend Golf Guys. You know, as guys, so much of our identity is wrapped up in our hair. That's why when we start noticing the first signs of hair loss, it feels like panic time. No guy is ever ready to go bald, and I speak from experience. The bald spot, the receding hairline, ugh. Thankfully now there's Keeps, the simple and easy way to keep your hair. Until I started using Keeps, I keeps hair in my sink and I keeps a lot of my hair on the floor. Well, Keeps offers generic versions of the only 2 FDA-approved hair loss products out there. You may have even tried them before, but never for this price. Keeps treatments start at just $10 a month. Plus, for a limited time, you can get your first month free. Keeps treatments usually take 4 to 6 months to see results. So what are you waiting for? Go to keeps.com/golfguys to get your first month of treatment free. That's KEEPS.com/golfguys.
You've heard about HelloFresh, right? Well, I finally subscribed. Got my first box last week. It's a great value. You know, you can save 40% when you use HelloFresh versus shopping at the grocery store. Well, that cuts out the stressful meal planning and the grocery store trips. I can enjoy cooking now and get dinner on the table in about 30 minutes. And you do walk to the table with a bit of a swagger when you've cooked something like chicken over garlic parmesan spaghetti. By skipping the grocery store and using HelloFresh, you know you can reduce your food waste by at least 25%. And also, you can give back. HelloFresh has donated over 3.5 million meals so far in 2020. Go to HelloFresh.com/weekend90 right now and use the code weekend90. You will get $90 off, including free shipping on your box. HelloFresh.com/weekend90. Use the code weekend90 and you're going to eat good. HelloFresh.com/weekend90. Of course, we have a Facebook page, Facebook.com/golfguys. We would love it if you were to go there and like us. We'd love it even more if you'd go there and follow us, Facebook.com/golfguys. So, what would you do with 218 bottles of bourbon? It staggers the imagination, does it not?
I try to find. I just, I'll tell you what, that's a lot of bourbon.
we are those Weekend Golf Guys, and we're just, fantasizing. Reminds me of a T-shirt I saw today. It's you got to picture this. It's text in a circle, and it says, "I suck at golf because I drink." Because I suck at golf, because I drink, I suck at golf. It's just, which is the cause, which is the result,
Yeah. One thing leads to another.
Yeah. So $100 for
Who
one.
Who sang that song? That's the fun part, right? Who sang One Thing Leads to Another? It's the somebody. I forgot who that is.
One thing leads to.
Not In Excess. Nope. That's something else.
It's not In Excess? You sure?
No, I don't think so. No, I don't remember. Anyway.
It's one of those. It happened in the late 80s.
Jockey Day.
I'm not paying a lot of attention in the late 80s. $100 for a chance, maximum of 500 chances, no matter where you are in the country, because they have to ship that. They have to ship the whole thing to the closest retail liquor store to the winner, because you can't come pick it up.
Because that's transporting alcohol across state lines.
That's right. Got to have a license and all that kind of good stuff. But
I think there's some moonshine talk about that, right? Revenuers.
The revenuers be looking for you. Yeah. Man, that's just great. And the Eagle Rare, the entire bourbon industry is aligning themselves with golf just because, are there any people, is there any other group of people, sports enthusiasts, classier than golfers? I would say.
No, definitely
not.
No. I don't know. Rugby fans, maybe.
No. Yeah, right.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Checking. See if you're paying attention.
ThoseWeekendGolfGuys.com. Go there. Peruse. Check it out. It's a nice place to be. Facebook.com/golfguys. Go there. Peruse. Check it out. It's a nice place to be. Your local PGA.
That's the same sentence.
How about that? Huh? Your local PGA professional. Go see him. Ask him that question. What's the question, Jeff?
Can you give me some sort of physical screens to tell me how I should really be swinging a golf club?
And then, when you get the answer, deal with it, and then go play much better golf.
Yeah.